Hey everybody, I'm Decent Treatment. Welcome aboard the Electric Airship Podcast. We're all about spreading the good indie RPG word by interviewing the serious talent we come across. Our guest today is the creative force behind Odencat. His studio has built a reputation for crafting emotional, story-driven games. Some of his pixelated classics include the heartbreaking Bear's Restaurant and even MEG'S Monster, a mechanically unique JRPG. You can expect Odencat games to be heavy with existential themes while maintaining a great sense of warmth and accessibility. It's a privilege to introduce DAIGO Sato.
Yay! Hi, I'm
Yeah,
Daigo. Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you there. Yeah,
Yeah,
real
yeah.
pleasure, privilege to have you here. Yeah,
Yeah, it's great, great. It's awesome.
just to talk about some of those games, let's talk about Meg's Monster. This is the
Oh, yeah,
RPG
yeah,
in the
please,
room.
please.
Yeah, so Meg's Monster, it's resonated deeply with players. Many describe it as emotional, unforgettable. Were you expecting such a strong reception?
Yes and no. I mean, we are very confident with our work, right? Because we spent like 2.5 years to build that like game. We spent like actually we finished the game in 1 year, but we actually spent extra 1.5 years to polish the game because we wanted to be
Mm.
super sure it's gonna be deliver the experience. And yeah, I mean, we got some test players actually give this like, the feedback that game is like so emotional. And somehow when I feel it's a success, it's gonna be a success. So I wasn't really surprised, but of course
Hmm.
I'm happy though. Like it went very, very well.
Okay. Yeah, the proof is in the pudding. You guys had a method, you followed through with it. You weren't surprised, by the success
I
that it ultimately
mean,
got.
I was relieved. I was relieved because we had this success from the Bear's Restaurant, and it had
Hmm.
certain expectation to Odencat itself. So
Hmm.
our goal was we have to meet expectations. And yeah, I mean, our goal was try to kind of reach the level of Undertale, to be honest.
Hmm.
I don't think I could reach that level because I mean, it's not as big. But I think in a sense, we actually succeeded to deliver different kind of emotion than what Undertale delivers. I mean, for example, it's kind of set up of more like a Monsters Inc. kind of setup where this big
Hmm.
monster is a small like girl. I I think that's somehow successful to me.
Yeah. Yeah, so you guys set yourself aside with this interesting theme of almost parenthood between Meg and Roy. Uh that's fascinating. So, did your experience as a father help you in sort of shaping that story?
I wasn't a father at that time, so
Oh,
it
okay.
didn't
Cool.
help, but maybe the fact not being a father helps to make a better game sometimes because if you know the reality, it's sometimes hard to kind of develop a fantasy world, right? Because if you know the real child, real kid, maybe sometimes it's too realistic for the players.
Right. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So the sort of like the rose-tinted lenses, the anticipation of maybe being a father was maybe beneficial. Uh,
I don't
okay.
know because if I make another game now, maybe it's gonna be better or worse. I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Hard to say, huh? My goodness. So with such a personal, moving story, I imagine you've heard some incredible fan reactions. Do you have a favorite? Did one like really stick out to you?
Well, there's always good reviews and bad reviews, and like some reviews really spot this plot hole or some like plot problem that they're seeing,
Hmm.
and we are like, oh, we know. It's like sometimes we have to give up to be perfect. For example, in Makes Monster, there's a thing called Flower Field. It's like a magical flower field, which kind
My
of
favorite set
helps you
piece. Yeah.
to
Yeah.
kind of help you to kind of time travel. But some people or reviewers don't like that. It's like too magical. It's like kind of too useful. But I understand their point. But that's also sometimes necessary. If I don't have that magic happen, if it's the flower field in Mix Monster, I couldn't really complete the plot on time. That sometimes
Mm.
there's some restriction. Yeah, but it was a good feedback, and we are like, oh, it's like we know, kind of feedback.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Certain things you're like, okay, that makes sense. If we had more time, maybe we'd develop it a different way. But overall, pretty positive though, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Overall, very positive. The meta score we got is like 85 on Steam, which is amazing as an
very
indie game, I
impressive.
believe.
Yeah,
And
for
I
sure.
actually don't see any, like, as a Japanese indie game, it's very special because I don't see many Japanese indie game going to get Metascore, even though I don't know Metascore really represents the game's quality, but yeah, still.
Yeah, still. So I mean, just to say you've got a Metascore, you've gotten around all the critics. That's a big deal.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, definitely.
yeah. So like you were saying, Meg's Monster, it's a relatively short JRPG, yet it has a lasting impact. Why did you choose this length?
Um, it's not that I chose it, but
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know. I love JRPGs. I like RPGs, but at the same time I'm too old to spend time these days.
Right.
So I can't really like spare enough time for like games these days. Unless it's a triple A big games. Like for example, I spent 100 hours for Persona 5. I don't mind because they deserve
Right.
it. But we are small indie game. I don't think I can really expect people to spend that long game, long hours to play our game. At the same time, um, we kind of get rid of all these like game mechanics. I mean, if you play Meg's Monster, you notice that game
Mm-hmm.
doesn't. There's not that much game in the gameplay.
Yeah.
I mean,
You've kind of
right?
boiled it down to its essentials.
Yeah. We thought of like adding more battles or meta game, but we just thought what we really want to deliver in this game is the emotional experience, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So we just try to focus so much, and like the six hours, I think it's like kind of filled with all this like emotional movement.
Mm-hmm.
I understand some people don't like it because I also enjoy all this like leveling and all the things, but the
Mm-hmm.
leveling or all this game mechanism sort of didn't fit well with our game this time.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it was a big shift from your previous games as well, right? So you kind of want to play to your strengths from the sort of narrative focus you've had.
Yeah, that's very true. Like, maybe many people think like adding battle system to the game is such a simple thing, but it was a
Mm,
kind of challenge for us because we had a success with other narrative game where it didn't even have battles. So
mm.
it was a challenge to just add a battle to our game.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, elaborate on that. So like, what was that balancing act like? Balancing your narrative with the battles.
So obviously, like I'm not going to hide it. The battle system has a huge influence from Undertale, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
like you are fighting in the kind of I don't know how it's called, the front view battle. Like you see the
Mm-hmm.
enemy, you see the face and stuff, and they talk a lot during the battle. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like the battle is not only a fighting; it's an opportunity to have a conversation with the other characters.
Yeah.
And we sort of had an inspiration from that, but we also wanted to make it more like different. So, like the big difference is, of course, Meg is kind of protected by this big guy Roy. Like
Mm-hmm.
the and the other inspirations we got is actually Final Fantasy V.
Ah, great game.
Um, you play that game? Do you know game?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's one scene. Sorry, I don't really know the English character names of Final Fantasy V. There's this old guy called Garafu in Japanese. Do you
Yeah,
know
yeah. Yeah, I know him.
the guy?
Yeah. In the
So
main party, yeah.
there's one scene he fight against this boss Exdeath is the same
Yeah.
Exdeath, and there's a one thing he doesn't really like die because he kind of burns his soul to fight against this enemy to protect his like the friends. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's great how they kind of describe the emotion by showing the hit point. So even
Mm.
his hit point tying to zero, he doesn't die, kind of thing, right? So we really
Yeah.
wanted to focus on play with that. Like for example, in Meg's Monster, you see the Roy has the hit point 99,999. So basically 5 digits hit points. It looks like it's so big. So
Yeah.
we tried lots of thing with that hit point system. For example, the first enemy only deals you like 3 to 5 damages. But on the way, when you encounter humans, they deal you with damages like 10,000 damages with their weapons. So it kind of shows you the difference. Like, oh, the humans like firearms are so much strong compared with like
Mm-hmm.
the monsters in the
Yeah,
underworld. So
yeah.
so we did lots of thing with these numbers. Just the
Mm-hmm.
numbers do such a great thing. So if you play the game till the end, you will see lots of things happens especially in the end. We do that, like
Gosh,
kind of
yeah.
showing the narrative through the parameters, basically.
Yeah. It's something that people take for granted is the design space in something as simple as a health bar. So really commendable that you guys found some creativity there. Uh, yeah, my goodness. So were there any early versions of the battle system that played differently? Maybe didn't use the same health system?
The very first idea we had was a tower defense. So
Ah,
it's
so
like
completely different.
yeah, because the only thing we knew was the game is about protecting a human child from the enemies
Hmm.
as a big guy. So it's like what kind of battle is the best to kind of describe that, you know? Like
Hmm.
and in the end we just chose the current battle design though. So
Yeah.
yeah, in the very early version, it was different. But relatively early, we decided this idea of the two characters in the battle, and you're protecting one character, and you have a 99,999 hit point, while this
Hmm.
human child had only like 30, 40 hit points. We decided it in very early stage actually.
Okay, right on. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So the tower defense, that was really a very brief stage in development. Interesting, interesting.
It could have been
Yeah.
anything actually.
Yeah, my goodness, that's it's fascinating to see. Like, that one idea that you have in the beginning, it could branch off into any number of different ways
Yep.
as the game develops. Yeah. Thanks for watching so far. You should know that Electric Airship, including this podcast, is funded by console game sales. So we've got Kaiju Big Battle, but coming up next is Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass, an established classic, coming back with some new twists. Check it out. Thanks for being patient. Back to the show. Character development is such a key part of this experience. Were there any characters that changed significantly during development?
Yeah. The protagonist Roy was originally
Hmm.
more like just a monster, and which is not really likable guy. But on the way, we actually look at the plot and like, what does this plot? How do how does each character need to evolve or develop through the story? So we kind of reviewed that after the first prototype, how we should like update each character. For example, the biggest thing is we realize we have to have some drastic change for each character, especially the protagonist and the heroine. The heroine character is Meg, right? So so for the Roy, the monster guy, he starts from a monster who doesn't care about other thing. He doesn't care about anything other than magic tar. His like
Hmm.
favorite food.
Right.
And yeah, and the Meg, on the other hand, she's just a weak human girl who does try, right? And she isn't brave. So in the end, we wanted to change the role of them. Like while the Roy was a strong, like a kind of strong monster, but in the end, he's the one who cries, or he becomes weak, sort of.
Yeah.
And the human child Meg, who starts as a very weak and like a kind of not brave girl, change into very strong and brave girl in the end. So we wanted to have this gap between the character from the start to the end.
To show that they really learn from each other.
I'm not explaining well, but I think it's just a method of how we develop games. We try to make a huge difference from the start point and the end point.
Yeah, that's definitely something you can see throughout your whole gameography for sure. Yeah, fascinating to think that in an early stage, Roy was actually just a monster, not likable at all. Yeah, and definitely commendable that you were able to develop the for him from a unlikable state to somebody who can actually have some emotional depth at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, like I was saying earlier, the flower fields, in my opinion, I really like the flower fields.
Okay,
That's my
thank you.
favorite set piece. So what goes into designing something like stunning like that kind of beautiful pixel art?
So inspirations for the flower wheel field came from Valkyrie Profile. Do you remember that game?
Uh, I haven't personally played it, but yeah.
It's a great game. That game has a very iconic opening scene where it starts from this like flower field, I believe. So it had this some inspiration. It gave me that inspiration. So we really wanted to give that feel of like flower kind of like fly around in this like very very beautiful scene.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So, it actually drew inspiration from big game in history. Do you have a favorite environment in Meg's Monster personally?
Environment. I mean, flower field is probably the best one, but the other than
Yeah.
that, I also really liked the idea of the characters staring at the starry sky at night. There's a
Oh
scene
yeah.
Roy and Meg looking up on the sky
hmm
and like talk about like moons or stars. I like that scene a lot. It's very emotional.
hmm Yeah, you guys do night skies very well. Uh, really blew my mind at the end of Snowman Story as well. Uh,
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's a great game, great game.
that's true.
So
We tend to love starry sky always. Such a beautiful thing in the real life as well.
yeah, naturally, everybody loves a good starry sky. It's always impressive when indie games get physical editions, and you're taking care of this independently. So, what made you take this route?
Oh, so the context here is so this time we only released the physical version in Japan because I live in Japan and it's just
hmm
easier for me to work with Japanese distributors. So this
hmm
time actually we are publisher of the physical version of Nintendo Switch MEG'S Monster. Why we did that? It's crazy. I mean, you shouldn't really do it. Usually, you should go through a publisher with experience to release a physical version. But at the same time, we thought it's not that difficult to do that everything by ourselves. It's all about just understand all this process and pay money to Nintendo to make the physical packages. But it turned out very difficult as well because the difficult part is actually to build how is it called this complete edition thing. Like we
Mm.
needed to add or come up with all these like merchandises to come with this special edition.
hmm
So that part was difficult because we are usually make digital games and we don't really do physicals, right? So I
Right.
needed to just talk to all other people, like how do we design this art book or soundtrack, or even we
hmm
are making this like finger puppet, this
Mm.
two finger puppets, Broy and Golan this time. But by the way, you can import it on PlayAsia if you want.
Uh-huh, very cool.
Yeah, very cool. It's a
Yeah.
great thing, but at the same time, it's time consuming, and I think it didn't really worth it financially,
Mm.
but mentally it's worth it, because it's the achievement. We really love that experience.
Yeah, just to be able to say like and see this stuff in person, like a plushie or finger puppets. I mean, that's not something that every indie developer gets to see of their game. It's very cool.
Yeah, I also just tend to love to experience anything like once. Like
Yeah.
even establishing a company is such a headache, but I try to do everything by myself because I wanted to understand the process. We
Mm-hmm.
actually make our own game engine. We we have our own game engine. We don't use Unity or Unreal Engine. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
also we want to have a understand the process, and we also want to have a full control what we are building. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just the nature of or DNA of our company that we just do everything by ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we will rely on publishers for future games though, because now we understand, we know everything behind the scene, so we can
Mm-hmm.
safely like proceed with the business even with others' help.
Right. Right. It's about building this base of knowledge for yourself so that you can, you know, I guess like eventually, if you want to rely on a publisher, you can. You know how they work.
Yeah,
Um,
right, right.
yeah, yeah. Huh.
Also, the tough part is the scheduling, right? Because physical
Mm-hmm.
version, it's like once you commit to the release date, the schedule cannot be changed anymore. So we need to
Mm-hmm.
really be sure when to send the ROM to lot check. By when we get this 0, basically a Japanese age rating. So all
Mm-hmm.
these new things came at the same time as we are when the same time we are learning about all these physical distributions. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
crazy how we needed to learn so many new things at the same time.
It was just like the sheer amount of things that piled up. Yeah.
Right, right. Yeah. We also like try to release the game outside of Japan at the same time with the help of the other publishers. But that
Mm-hmm.
also came with all this like scheduling problem because the other publisher doesn't like we release the Japanese part version first in Japan, right? Because
Mm.
it will include the English support as well. It kind
Right.
of worried them that, oh, it might not sell well outside of Japan because Japan yen is so cheap now. So
Mm.
it's like it's very easy
Interesting.
for the abroad for the foreigners to import the Japanese version cheap because it's like how much is it? Three 3,800 yen is the physical version, so which is like 20 bucks or something.
Ah, okay. So it might even be cheaper to import. Huh.
Yeah, maybe. So yeah, please
Yeah.
import. It supports English on other languages, so please.
Huh. Okay, right on. Well, yeah, you mentioned this DLC Lost Memories. What can you tell us about this?
I, it's basically a prequel. So it's
Mm-hmm.
we are not really. We thought of like make a new story for the Royal Meg, but the game just ended so beautifully. So I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to add anything unnecessary to the game. So we kind of gave up the route of going for the sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, we just chose to tell the story what happened before the main
Mm-hmm.
game. Yeah, what I can tell you is like, yeah, the game that is mainly focusing on the council members. The four council members appearing
Interesting.
in the Mega's Monster.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Many people notice is there's something behind them, and we are not really telling the everything in the main story. So now
Huh.
we want to reveal the secret of all these like council members, as well as we are showing, you know, there are lots of documents you can read in the game. So that might help you to understand better what was going on.
Like collectible notes that you can find as the player?
Yes, yes. You will receive a tablet, basically, a tablet like iPad.
Ah. Yeah.
And as you progress the story, there are lots of like new entries appears, and you can enjoy reading them. It's like lots of reading.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, love that. So it's a prequel rather than a sequel. Interesting route. So you're not playing as Meg or Roy or the established characters like that. You're playing as the council members.
It's more like an omnibus story, so
Huh. Oh, okay. I
it
see.
changes. The playable character changes
Oh,
as you
very
play.
cool. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. Cool. Thanks for clarifying. So, yeah. Also, there's rumors circulating that Meg's Monster is going to be featured in a live concert. Is this true?
Oh, we already had a concert, live concert in
Wow,
Japan.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What was that like?
Was awesome. Awesome. There are like 400, 500 people came to the concert hall. We are watching from like above, like looking all how all the audience reacts.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the live concert was actually done uh, mainly by the main composer, Reo Ratani. He's
Mm-hmm.
actually the composer of Monster Hunter and Hi-Fi Rush on the other like
Wow, big
games. So
names.
yeah, he is a big guy. But he loved indie games, and he actually knew my game I made when I was in high school. So he knew my very first game as well. So it's a
Wow.
kind of miracle. Yeah, it happens. All these like interesting connections with people. Also, the great thing I happened is that Laura Shigihara, she's the singer behind the
Mm-hmm.
main theme of Meg's Monster. She's also
Yeah.
famous of Plant vs Zombies, Deltarune, and
Mm-hmm.
Tudum um, songs.
Yeah. Even more huge names. Okay.
Yeah, so we kept it secret to everyone in the concert hall that she came to Japan to sing for
Mm-hmm.
our game. So it was a big surprise in the very end, and we took lots of photos together. And it was my first time to see her in face to face. So that was very awesome.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, previously you'd just been working over like Zoom or something. That's so cool.
X, Twitter or X mainly. Yeah. So it was
Really? Oh, wow. My goodness. Gosh, what an accomplishment that is. Holy cow. A concert hall with 500 people in the audience. Um, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you're very proud of yourself and the whole team.
yeah, yeah. I'm very proud of like our team and mainly the who made this happen. The composer, the Rail
Mhm.
Ratani.
Mhm.
He put so much effort. It's not his main job to do the concert because his job is to make music. It's not to organize all this concert hall, like manage a payment or do the raise funding. It's not his main
Mhm.
job, but he did everything because he has this indie spirit as well.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, he has the indie spirit, huh? That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, okay. So this is just one among many Odencat games. Uh, how does Meg's Monster fit within your larger body of work?
It's a great addition to our portfolio, obviously. I really
Yeah.
love that Next Monster is there. It's a bit different from our other previous games as well,
Mm-hmm.
where it tells more about characters. So I really love it. It doesn't mean that I don't like other games though. I still
Mm-hmm.
love my past games and what I'm going to make next. I love every game I have. Next Monster serves a great meaning how it kind of opens a door to
Mm-hmm.
our games to add more gameplay.
So in a way, is it like a turning point for the studio?
In a way, yes. Yes, I think we're kind of recognizing or realizing it is necessary to have gameplay if you want to make a bigger game. Like for short game, might be fine. For 2, 3 hour games, maybe people don't expect much. They might be okay with all the reading kind of
Mm-hmm.
games. But I think once it turns to be to a bit longer game, it needs a bit more gameplay. Otherwise, you'll get bored. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think it's a turning point. We probably add more gameplay for our future games.
Yeah. If you want to make bigger stories, you gotta add some more gameplay, huh? That's cool. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Huh. All right. So, moving on to some of your other big games, Bear's Restaurant and Fishing Paradiso. They take place in the same afterlife, which sets the stage for, um, some great explorations of themes like mortality. Um, one of the most striking things about them, I think, is the contrast between cute pixel art and, just sort of the deep storytelling. Why'd you choose this art style?
I can only do pixel art. That's that's the main reason. But as you said, I think I really like a game like Mother series, Mother 2,
Mm-hmm.
or Undertale, or Omori. All those games have this cute pixel graphic, while it tells such a deep or sometimes very heavy or sad stories. So it's like if you're telling a serious or heavy or kind of sad story through like more realistic graphics, that's like a movie. But if you tell it through a pixel art, it's more like a game. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of easy for people to digest that the story. So we love to have more player-friendly or cute graphics and tell whatever story you want to tell, because I think that's a way to kind of make people open their mind a bit to our like serious or sometimes heavy stories.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So somehow this cute pixel art creates a sort of accessibility for the players. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Gosh, my goodness, that's profound. That's a profound idea. So, in Bear's Restaurant, the memory diving mechanic is such a unique way to explore the past lives of your characters. How'd you come up with this concept?
So I have to tell that how Bear's Restaurant was made first. The game
Okay.
was actually designed for mobile because
Mm-hmm.
Odencat was started as a mobile game company. The main reason was that we wanted to focus on the market, untouched market for indie games, because Steam was already saturated at that time, and we
Mm-hmm.
wanted to kind of start small. So we chose mobile game as our main platform, and Bear's Restaurant was designed to work in that platform. So maybe you remember Bear's Restaurant is a free-to-play game on mobile, so it's basically a free game.
Mm-hmm.
And to make money on free-to-play game, how do you make money? Do you know?
Microtransactions.
Yes, microtransactions, or if the people don't want to pay, what they do?
You put
They
ads in
watch
there?
ads.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So the main idea was we needed to design the game so that people can actually, uh, watch ads. But for story games, how do you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Because one ad just give you like 1 cent at most, right? So we need to like increase the number of ads we are going to show to the players. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why we came up with this notion of micro episodes. So each episode
Ah.
of when you dive into the memory, you only see like 5 to 10 seconds of memory.
Mm-hmm.
So that way we can have like 20 or more micro episodes in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to play the game for free on mobile, you needed to watch ads for each micro episode. So if you want to complete all micro episodes, you will need to watch ads at least 20 times. That
Mm-hmm.
gives us like 10 to 20 cents in revenue. So of course, if you pay money up front, you don't need to watch any ads. So you can just enjoy the micro episode. So that's the real reason why we came up with this memory dive mechanics. But of
Hmm.
course, it's not only about money. We also wanted to kind of tell a story through that experience. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the truth here.
That's so interesting. My goodness. Yeah, I would have never considered that. But it's cool that you opened the door for even the players that don't want to pay. Um,
Yep. So it's something you don't have to care on a platform like Steam or Nintendo Switch. So for MEG'S Monster, we don't have any of those. But yeah, if you want to make it for mobile, maybe we need to think about something.
yeah, yeah, huh? Yeah, it's a good idea. It's a creative way to make some money off of your hard work. Um,
Sometimes monetization helps you to design a different game, unique game. So that's a very good
uh-huh.
example, I think.
Yeah, totally, totally. Um, so just to move toward some of the characters, Cat and Bear have a really unique, touching relationship. How'd you develop their backstories?
So yeah, how did we decide? Let me think. I think I believe it starts from the design first. We already
Hmm.
wanted to have a bear and cat
Mm-hmm.
as a main protagonist and the main character. The reason why we chose a bear and a cat was because we had a failed project before. We had this asset of Bear's restaurant. So we needed to think a way to kind of reuse that asset. It's like,
oh, no way, it works so well.
What could we do with Bear and Restaurant? And I just came up with this idea of what if we make a game about restaurants serving death? It's gonna be very interesting, and it's kind of catchy. So we decided to make a game with a bear and restaurant at the time. So at that time we didn't have a cat yet. So how does the cat come to the play, right? So we need to think about the body of this bear, because you probably don't run the restaurant alone, and you need a player. So we decided, okay, the player is a character who helps this bear to run the restaurant, and while you run the restaurant, you will learn the secret of the restaurant. We decided that. So, but why cat? I mean, we like cat. That's one reason. But at the same time, we were a very mobile kind of oriented company at that time. I was like learning what kind of character is the most popular in App Store. What's the phrase people like search on the store? It's like, what do people like? Dog or bird or penguin or cat? I had this idea, maybe cat is the best, but I was not sure if dog or cat, which is more popular. But we figured out the very interesting idea where cat is more popular than dog. Not because cat is more popular than dog. It's more like people who like dog. It's not like they like dog. It's like they like each kind of dog. They like Chihuahua or they like this Shiba. They're more picky. But
that's a good point.
People who like cat doesn't really pick the kind too much. They're not that picky. They like who love cat love any kind of cat usually. But people who love dogs usually only like the certain kind of dog. That's why when you choose the keyword on App Store, cat is stronger than dog, because cat has more audiences for the reason I stated.
Oh, wow. That is fascinating. So just the term cat has inherently better SEO.
That's true.
Wow. That's
wild. That's very sad thing to hear from a company who is pushing for the emotional part. But yeah, that's sometimes we also like business. I'm also an engineer, so sometimes I think things very logically as well.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I think it's just sentiment to your skill that you can take profit into account as one of your pillars, and still come out with a very emotionally poignant product.
But this dog and cat discussion is very interesting, because when I found this out for the first time, I was very shocked as well. Oh, that's true. So, yeah. I hope it helps.
My goodness. That's fascinating stuff. Thank you for sharing. So switching gears to fishing Paradiso, fishing is kind of an unusual but relaxing core mechanic. How'd you decide to build a game around it?
I'm very sorry, I have to... Okay, it's because I was thinking about the keyword on App Store. What do people like? So I was like, fishing maybe? Maybe people like fishing, and fishing is a popular genre on App Store, obviously. And what's the other popular keyword? Like survival. Survival was a popular genre at that time. So I came up with okay, survival. And survival usually comes with the keyword of island. So at first we were thinking of maybe a survival fishing game, but that kind of doesn't really make sense. So we chose to do island and fishing game. So that's how we came up with this tropical island with fishing game. And of course, we also thought it's another strategy we had was we wanted to make a side story of Bear's Restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And the strategy here was once we release Bear's Restaurant, we can send all the players to Fishing Paradiso as well.
Mm-hmm.
That way we can boost the App Store ranking. So
Mm-hmm.
actually it was intentional. We actually developed the two games simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
And we released the game almost like uh, we released Fishing Paradiso after 3 months of Bear's Restaurant. So Bear's Restaurant we spent 8 months. For Fishing Paradiso we spent 10 months. And I don't know how we managed to do this. It's crazy to make two games within a year,
Yeah.
but we somehow did that, and that's how we started to make Fishing Paradiso. Part one, it was a spin-off of Best Restaurant. Second, we carefully decide a theme based on the marketing effectiveness
Mm-hmm.
and how it worked, and it worked out very well actually. Fishing Paradiso is part of Google Play Pass, and it generates lots of revenue every month. That kind of supports our studio. So it's a
Hmm.
great decision we made to develop Fishing Paradiso, I would say.
Okay. Wow. Okay. That's fascinating. Thank you for sharing that. Very candid
Yeah,
perspective. I feel like
yeah.
many developers would hide behind this veil of artistry, but you're being very forthright about this stuff. Um,
Well,
yeah.
of course, yeah. It's not only about money or marketing. We like fishing. We love the idea of tropical island because
Uh huh.
it's kind of relaxing.
Right. Right.
And
Yeah.
heaven. What the heaven should look like? Yeah, it should look like a tropical island. It should look like
Yeah.
Hawaii because it's like heaven. So I mean,
Naturally.
it's not only
Yeah.
about money. I have to tell you, but yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we also it's a balance. Both are important to us.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned like you like fishing. Do you have experience fishing yourself or?
Yes, yes. In Japan is an island, so it has a lot of place you can like fish. When I was young, I was fishing with my father, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we were on the fishing boat, fishing
Mm-hmm.
together. After fishing, we can of course eat the fish. That's awesome, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's always very satisfying to then like try this sort of fish that you might not have ever tried before. Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you for sharing all about fishing Paradiso and where it's come from. Your games explore themes of mortality in a way that's both poignant and even a little comforting. Was there a specific story or personal experience that influenced this approach with Bear's Restaurant?
Like why we tend to choose life and death as a theme.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's not that really I wanted to push that, but it just naturally comes from me where
Uh-huh.
because death is probably what everyone experiences, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
what everyone fears. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just easy to kind of make a story based on life and death. That might be the reason why I tend to choose it.
Mm-hmm.
But my personal experience, of course, I have this experience of my pets died, my grandfather
Mm-hmm.
died, all this like experience of death. And it's something everyone has. Everyone has this sad memories from losing someone important, right? But at the same time, I want to kind of have a hope. It's like it's too sad that death is the end, and death after the death, I forget about the person. So I just wanted to have a hope. So it's not like yeah, it's sometimes become a bit religious. For example, Bear's
Mm-hmm.
Restaurant feels a bit has this notion of Buddhism or Christianism.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I think it's just naturally what human beings have in their mind. I don't know how to describe this, but I think it just naturally comes from me.
Yeah.
That I think it's very important to tell or give
Yeah.
some positive message about that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's rare to find a story that by the end, maybe you feel a little bit more comfortable with the idea of death or, you've processed things. I think you really do you help players in that way. Um
Yeah, I I I received lots of message from especially Bear's Restaurant, because Bear's Restaurant was more directly telling the story about death and life.
Mm-hmm.
So there's App Store reviews or Steam reviews. Like especially from App Store reviews, I received lots of messages sharing the people sharing about their experience. Like like some people were like actually they are sentenced for like basically they have a cancer and they can live long, and those people
Mm.
share the message of like showing me some like gratitude, and that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of heartbreaking to read all these reviews from people who actually moved playing my games, and that time I felt like, oh, I shouldn't treat death lightly.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big deal. People
Mm-hmm.
actually play and feel something from my game. So I think I'm very careful. I try to be very careful about what to tell in the story. I really shouldn't. Uh, yeah, I really need to think about people playing the game now.
Yeah. Huh. So, the sort of player reception even changed the way that you make games moving forward. Um, that's fascinating. So, did that affect how you made Snowman Story later?
I, I think so. I think so. I mean, yeah, Snowman Story is also about death, right?
Yeah,
But we
yeah.
are not really like darkly showing it. It's about like you're melting because the spring comes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, it definitely kind of influences me because I maybe not that much now because I'm old, but when I was young, I was really scared of death, the idea of death. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was very scared the idea my cat will die at some point because
Mm-hmm.
it's just scary. So I remember when I was like 10 years old or something, I was crying about uh, kind of imagining that day, oh my cat die, right? So
Mm-hmm.
in a snowman story, it's like you are facing an unavoidable death because when spring comes, snowman dies or
Mm-hmm.
melt. So it's like human, like at some point you die, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean the message or what they want to tell there was like since you need to live anyways, it's a bit too tough if you need to care about death all the time. So I wanted to kind of make it like hopeful. Like you don't have
Mm-hmm.
to scare about death too much. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It will come to you eventually, but until then, enjoy your life, or just move
Mm-hmm.
towards the death happily. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think it influences me. I can't really. I never really try to turn them into words, but now I'm trying to kind of explain how it
Mm-hmm.
influences me.
Happy to get some fresh thoughts then. That's awesome. Uh, yeah. I mean, especially with Snowman Story, there's this idea of um fulfilling this one's purpose, right? Just sort of like if this snowman like goes away from their owner, right? And does their own thing, doubts themselves, then they won't live a fulfilled life. Like what sort of message in that regard do you hope players take away?
Mm, yeah, I think it's just in this snowman story, like everyone has a regrets, and
Uh-huh.
they are given the chance to kind of fulfill their wishes, right? By
Mm-hmm.
the Santa Claus.
Right.
I think it's just I don't know if it's really I'm trying to push that message, but I think what
Huh, okay.
I think is important is if you did anything wrong, for example, if you fight with your family,
Mm-hmm.
maybe become a friend before you die, It's like
Right.
don't regret after you died. It's too late. For example, sometimes my parents will die eventually, so I mean try to call them before
Mm-hmm.
they are gone. You should do the best while you can.
Yeah, okay. You have a chance to make things right, to make amends while you're still on Earth. Yeah. My goodness, what a unique concept, Snowman Story. A snowman on a journey to escape melting. Gosh, how long did it take to develop that game?
5 months on mobile version. We put extra time to build the Steam version and Nintendo Switch version, so it's probably total 1 year.
Okay, right on. Did you add any extra content for the Steam release?
Not really, not really. But we needed to make a lot of changes to make it work with gamepad.
Right, that makes
UI
sense.
needed to change, and we don't have this microtransaction anymore. So we needed to, make it work with
That makes sense.
that Steam
Yeah,
platform.
yeah, for sure. So Chris the Snowman meets many different animals on the journey. My personal favorite are the talking gorillas. Um,
Oh yeah.
were they a part of the plan from the beginning, or did you add them later?
So so it came from some it's an accident actually.
Huh.
So our artist, our pixel artist, Hung, he lives in Vietnam, Hanoi, and so there's some language barrier. He doesn't speak English well. So sometimes, like, I try to order something on
Right.
the task management tool. Hey, could you please draw this? And he just drew gorilla, but gorilla doesn't exist in this like snowy forest in Europe, right? So it's like
Yeah.
I don't think gorilla lives there, but since he already like draw all the 4 directions and the frames for each gorilla, so we are like, okay, let's have a gorilla. That's fun.
It is
I mean, it's a
fun.
game, it's
Yeah.
okay. So we
Yeah.
ended up have gorillas in game. It's a mistake, but it turned out to be just an interesting idea. So
Yeah, sort of like a puzzle mechanic as well. So interesting that you
yeah,
interact with this character to move the rock around. Um, yeah.
so yeah, maybe it's a good lesson. When you make a game, it's fine to add something very crazy because then that crazy thing will do crazy things to your game, like moving rocks, breaking the puzzle. So yeah, it
Yeah,
was a
there you
good
go.
finding.
You guys are really great at working within limitations, like kind of rolling with the punches as things as development
Yeah,
continues. Yeah. Yeah.
because we don't
So
have funding. Yeah, because we are
right.
self-funded. We do need to do by ourselves, so we need to like learn how to limit the scope or be creative sometimes.
Right, that makes sense. Huh. So gosh, I mean, you probably didn't cut much during development then. Was there anything that you sort of wanted to include but had to sort of snip away?
For Snowman Story, actually, it was shorter first. Like at first, it was the end after he reached the architect. Was it the architect? I believe architect. But we were like, oh, it's not enough. Let's add some
Yeah, that would have been depressing,
hope
right?
after
Because
that.
now he's just
Yeah, right.
alone.
Yeah. I mean, I sometimes like sad ending too, because it kind of gives you a room to think about things.
Right,
But
sure.
yeah, I added a happy ending anyways. So it was shorter when we planned. We added more because we thought it's necessary.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, right on. I'm glad you added the end. It's kind of like you expect it to be over when you get to the Arctic, and then it's like, and we got even more, and it gets even cooler. So you definitely keep the party rolling in that regard.
I have a feeling as I get older, I prefer happy ending. It's like when I was
Really?
a teenager, I liked more sad or like brutal endings. I think, for example, if you play the game Drag on Dragoon from Taro Yoko, Yoko Taro? He made Nia. Do you know game Nia?
Oh yeah,
Nia
okay. I've
Automata.
heard of this game. Yeah, yeah.
So he was famous of always make a sad ending or like ending without any like hope. So that's how he made games in Dragon Dragoon. But in Nia or Nia Automata, he starts to add happy ending. So it feels like maybe when people get older, they prefer happy ending, maybe. So maybe that's why I'm like making or emotional games these days. Anyways, I sidetracked. Sorry.
No, that's definitely an interesting theory. I wonder if, as I get older, I'll start to prefer happy endings as well. Um, Definitely for me, when I make my games, I'm doing like tragic ends for sure. Um, Fascinating stuff. Thanks for sharing your perspective on Snowman Story. You've been referencing a lot of great games during this interview. How'd you first get into gaming?
RPG Maker. So
Really?
when I was in junior high school, I bought this RPG Maker for Windows.
Mm-hmm.
So I was playing with it, right? Because it's so fun. And that's how I actually learned how to make games, like learn pixel art and all the things. So that's how it started. Maybe there are many people like this, right, who started making RPGs thanks to RPG Maker. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it started.
Yeah, that I think a lot of people I've spoken with have similar stories. Um, so cool. So, but did you have like a first game that really inspired you to go in and use
Oh
RPG
yeah,
Maker?
right. Of course. First game. I don't know about the first game. I mean, I lived in Japan, right? So I had a
Uh-huh.
chance to play all these JRPGs all the time.
Hmm.
So yeah, I played games like Chrono Trigger, what a Romancing Saga, Final Fantasy,
Mm-hmm.
Dragon Quest, all those
Right.
like mainly Square game.
Mm-hmm.
Squaresoft made so many good games. I really love them.
Oh yeah,
They
everybody does.
always tell such a emotional, great stories. So I think that mainly influenced me. And I think, yeah, Chrono Trigger was the biggest, I think, among them
Yeah,
in
Chrono
in this
Trigger.
SNES era. Yeah.
Has your relationship changed with these classic RPGs like Chrono Trigger over the years?
I still like them. I still love them.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it's changed. I still think they are great games. I can still play them and enjoy them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Sweet.
I still don't think I'm like reached their levels at all. They are so nice. They're so great. And to reach their levels, I need to work harder, make better
Mm-hmm.
games.
Mm-hmm. So one day you want to be able to make that something as good as Chrono Trigger, as big, as beautiful.
Of course,
Yeah.
that would be great. Yeah, I think that's everyone's dream. But of
Uh-huh.
course, I don't want to make a copy of Chrono Trigger. That's not what I
Mm-hmm.
want to do. They are legends, but I want to make another game which will be remembered like Chrono Trigger for a long time.
Right. Okay. So you might be emphasizing different things, but it's more the principle of just like how big, how impactful this game was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do any more obscure influences creep their way into your work?
Well, video games, of course. Not only SNES, I played games on PlayStation
Uh-huh.
and other games. So the other references, other inspirations I have to tell is games like Xenogears, games
Oh
like
yeah, classic.
Suikoden
Mm-hmm.
2,
Yeah.
awesome. Also, I mean, as I said recently, games like Undertale gave me
Mm-hmm.
hope that the game is still there.
Mm-hmm.
That's from game. For movies, yeah, I like movies too. I don't know what influenced me the most. I think is that called New Cinema Paradiso? I like the movie a lot.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I've never heard
New
of this
New
one.
Cinema Paradise. Yeah, New Cinema
Mm-hmm.
Paradise. I love that movie a lot. So it's very emotional experience. So I don't know.
I'll
I
have to
think
give it a watch.
lots of things formed me, and it's not only the creations, also the fact I lived in many countries. I I was born in Germany and spent 7 years there. After
Wow.
that, I moved to Japan. But
Mm-hmm.
after that, I've also studied in Pennsylvania, Australia, Switzerland. So I
Mm-hmm.
was like studying three countries
So why were you moving around so much?
because I was curious.
Wow.
So it's
Okay, you've just been an adventurer, an explorer.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I went to a university in Australia first. I was like, maybe not. So I was take a leave of absence and moved
Mm-hmm.
to Switzerland. And that was like, oh, maybe I don't want to do computer science. It's too hardcore. That's why I kind of moved to States to learn about entertainment
Mm-hmm.
and so on. And then what did I do? I went to New York, Albany to make Guitar Hero
Mm.
in, what was it? Vicarious Visions is part of Activision.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, maybe I don't want to make guitar game. So because my passion was always in RPG. So actually
Mm-hmm.
I got a job offer from Square Enix itself. I
Mm-hmm.
moved to
Wow.
Japan
Mm-hmm.
and I was making Final Fantasy 14 for 1 year. But dream company is dream because you're not there. Once you enter the company, you know the reality. And
Uh,
yeah, I was working with Yoshida-san, the producer of Final Fantasy 14.
wow.
He was a nice guy.
Directly.
He was a nice guy.
Wow.
Yeah, not directly, but I still remember when I resigned the job, I went to his desk and told him like, I think I wanna quit, and I left
Mm-hmm.
the job. Yeah.
Mm.
Then yeah, that was Japan, and then I came back to sorry. Then I went to Vietnam to work for to start a game studio for a Japanese company.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went back to America and I was living in West Coast, San Francisco for 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, anyhow, sorry, I was
No,
like
this is
traveling around.
awesome. This is not, I would not have expected all of this rich history. My goodness. Yeah. Wow. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, yeah.
So my good. So I don't know. What was the biggest takeaway, biggest lesson from working with Square?
Lessons. Um,
Yeah.
but I did a pretty good job in Square Enix actually, where
Uh-huh.
I was there only for 1 year, or actually 10
Mm-hmm.
months to be honest. But I was actually very curious guy. I would just
Mm-hmm.
keep talking, like keep connecting with people there. So it's
Right.
like I'm a junior programmer there, so I'm like not important person in Square Enix,
Mm-hmm.
of course. I'm like just a young guy. But I was just like directly just go to the desk of people like the Kawazu-san, who is the developer of Saga series. Well, I
Mm-hmm.
went to the desk of Shida-san. He's the front mission
Wow.
developer.
Wow.
And what else? I also talked to like famous people from Square Enix. And then yeah, I still talk with Shida-san, for example,
Mm-hmm.
because I was reckless that time. I was fearless. So I'm very happy that I was like brave enough to talk to people and curious enough to talk to people in Square Enix, even though I wasn't really contributing to the company. I'm very sorry for that, but yeah, I'm not regretting that I joined the company.
Yeah. That's very impressive.
Yeah, it sounds like a very bad guy though.
So like, I mean, did they have any great advice for you as a game developer?
I don't know. I think you should focus on your work and become a better
Mm-hmm.
programmer or developer first. But um, I think the biggest learning I had was when I talked with Kawazu-san. Kawazu-san
Mm-hmm.
is the producer of Saga series, and
Mm-hmm.
I really love Romancing Saga,
Mm-hmm.
especially 3 or Saga Frontier. I really love that game.
Right.
So I was actually making a clone game. Basically, I made my own version of Romancing Saga. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
original story, original characters, of course. But the
Right.
battle system is heavily inspired from Romancing Saga.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I showed my game to him, right? I
Mm-hmm.
thought he's going to be grateful about that. I thought he's going to be happy that I'm like he's like meeting a passionate developer. But
Yeah.
he was really not liking it. I think
Huh.
I think to be respected as a developer, you shouldn't really follow developer as a fan. So At that time, I was just a Saga fan. I was just a fan of him.
Mm-hmm.
But if I want to be seen as a developer or a person to actually work with, I shouldn't be a fan. I shouldn't just follow someone's work. So it was a learning I got from him.
Wow. Yeah. Wow, that's a vivid memory there. My goodness. So you showed this game to him, he wasn't that enthusiastic, and that showed you that you need to, have your own vision, you can't just
Yeah,
be a fan. You have to make your own thing.
yeah. I think he doesn't like those fans. I mean, he like fans, but he doesn't like developer who is a fan.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think from that time, I respect lots of people, but I think I shouldn't be like fan anymore. I mean, I should respect their work, but I shouldn't be just you know I don't know how to explain, but I need to be professional.
No, you're getting your idea
Yeah.
across. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Huh. That's fascinating. So, sort of moving beyond being a fan, having more of a professional, critical, sort of like design-oriented perspective
Mm.
on
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Um, what an interesting lesson you gleaned from your time at Square there. Um, yeah. So, thank you for sharing. What would you say is the most important value you'd like Odencat to represent?
Mm, yeah, I still think I want to make a game which remains to someone's heart for a long time
Mm-hmm.
because that's what I got from all the old good games I played before.
Mm-hmm.
When I listen to the game music, like for example, if I listen to the Chrono Trigger music, like when I listen to it, I still I can instantly remember how I felt when I was a teenager. So it
Right.
has this power. The games have those power. So I want to make the game like that. And Odenkat's goal is to keep making a game which moves someone's heart and remains for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's very respectable. Certainly, they've moved my heart. So, you guys are
Thank
still
you.
doing that. Yeah. Um. So then, what's next for you in Odencat? Can you share anything about your new project, Mousebusters?
So Mousebusters is basically a remake of our old mobile games.
Mm-hmm.
At first, we thought of just directly porting our mobile version to PC or
Mm-hmm.
Switch, but we thought, as I said, I thought the gameplay is important now, right? So we are adding more gameplays, make it more meaningful as a game, and kind of repackage it as a new game. So it's gonna be a very different game from the mobile version. And the game is about your mouse. You're helping your residents in your apartment and save them from their ghosts. So it's like a happy, comical game. It's a very happy game, but of course, it's not only about happy. There are lots of sad thing or scary thing
Yeah.
happens in the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the game we are making, and yeah, that development is going pretty well. Thanks to the decision of kind of instead of making a game from zero, we are kind of reusing lots of things from the past games, so we can
Mm-hmm.
make a new game effectively. At the same
Mm-hmm.
time, we are also making a new game called Dream Channel Zero
Mm-hmm.
with my developer partner Fumi, which is also a very interesting game, and we are going to show more information about the game this year.
Huh. Yeah. I'm a big fan of Fuming's work. Really enjoyed Zell. What an interesting aesthetic.
Oh, you played that game? Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely up my alley. My goodness, like they changed the format of exploration like several times. Like you're first
That's
person
true.
and then you're like looking down. Very creative.
It's very creative, but I think only indie game developers can do that because it's like
Mhm.
confuses the players, it's very hard to do marketing actually.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's
Yeah, I
interesting
would
indeed.
imagine it's uh I would say good art, Really enjoyed Zell, so thanks for sharing about that stuff. Uh so a lot of indie developers dream of creating the kind of emotional narrative driven games that you make. What advice would you give to the people that want to achieve that?
This is hard to tell because I don't know too. But I think
Mm.
um, at least what I can say is if you are successfully made an emotional game by yourself, you are going to be emotional when you're playing it. You actually feel it. It's like it's like if you don't feel any emotional movement when you're playing your game, it's not going to move anyone's heart. So
Mm-hmm.
I think the important thing is that you are the first audience. You as a developer, you need to move your heart first. So think what moves your heart, and usually there's some techniques though. There's some techniques. Easy technique is I can tell is just as I mentioned earlier for MEG'S Monster, you need to prepare a big difference from when it starts and when it ends. The character needs to maybe very different, or the something needs to be very different or changed. So when I make a game, I try to design a gap, big gap. For example, if you want to make a very sad game, what you should do is to make a very happy game in early on, then
Mm-hmm.
make a sad moment. So the difference from the happiness to the sadness is the gap. That's the emotional movement. So yeah, try not to make a flat game that nothing changes. So you should make
Mm-hmm.
a game where things change, the emotion change, the
Yeah.
situation change. I think that's important here.
So the start point is very important, but the ending is also extremely important, and sort of like designing this transition in anticipation of the end. That's that's some really great advice and very actionable. So I appreciate that.
What yeah, usually when we design a game, when we make a game, we design from the start and the end. So we know the opening and the ending exactly how it should work.
Mm-hmm.
And when we do the prototype, we make the opening scene and ending scene first.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it fits right, what you need to do is to fill the rest.
Mm.
So if you know the start point and the end point, then it's all about how to connect them. That's challenging still,
Mm-hmm.
but it's much better than not knowing where you're heading to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, for sure. It gives sort of like a framework, a skeleton to build everything else on. Yeah, sage advice. Um,
That's not for everyone though. That's not for everyone.
that's for
I
sure.
understand it's not easy for, yeah. Some people don't prefer that way.
Yeah.
So it's only for me.
Okay. Right on. So earlier you got a little critical about your past self, like the younger developer Daigo. If you could give the younger Daigo one piece of advice, what do you think you'd give him?
Mhm. I think younger Daigo did a pretty good job actually. I mean,
Good.
he did what he could. He enjoyed his life.
Uh-huh.
He I personally like the idea that um he or I spent enough time to be working for a big company first because
Mm-hmm.
I spent like 5 to 10 years to work with big companies, right? That
Mm-hmm.
way I learned critical things
Right.
before I become an indie game developer. It
Mm-hmm.
helps me a lot because if I started from indie game developer first, I was clueless,
Uh-huh.
and I think I might not have been like this. So I think that's a great decision you made. I mean, I made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's great. So even if, there was some hardships along the way, a lot of learning moments, you look back on that and you don't have any regrets. They've kind of built you into the person you are.
I mean, I mean, I don't know. Maybe sometimes I feel like I should have I should have married earlier,
Ah,
or have baby earlier because
interesting.
yeah. I mean, now I have a baby, and like now I have to imagine after 20 years how old I am, right? So I feel
Mm-hmm.
like thinking about that personal life, maybe I should have started my family earlier. That might be
Mm-hmm.
the only regret. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
not that super regretted because I still think I have a good life. Maybe if
Mm-hmm.
I had a family earlier, maybe I couldn't start in my company like this. So it's like
Right,
I
true.
don't know. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you never know how things might have turned out, but certainly you've got something really great going for yourself now. So, um yeah, hopefully you don't feel too bad about that. You know, you've got a great thing. You've got great things ahead of you. So
Yeah, definitely. I think we need to live with what we have now. So I
yeah.
think instead of have a regret, maybe think about how to live from now on. It's better, uh, yeah, attitude maybe. So I'll do that.
Yeah, right on. So I guess that concludes the interview. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out? Anything you'd like to plug?
Oh, well, thanks everyone who works for Odencat, helps making game, because Odencat is not only only Daigo, right? There are the other
Mm-hmm.
people helping. For example, the story of MEG'S Monster was written by Ryota Saito. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
also helped him to write stories, but he did the main story. Also, Fishing Paradiso was mainly developed by with my friend Tsuyoshi Hirose. So he's a friend from my high school. So yeah, I all these friends from my like past life are helping me. So thanks very much for my friends, and of course, I don't know, family, God, I don't know, whatever, who helped me. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, and thank you for being here. It's been such an honor. Um, yeah. So, for everybody at home, this has been Daigo. And have a wonderful rest of your day.